All right, guys, we are live. Welcome to Pod to Profit. It is Monday, November 3rd. And what we do here, of course, is we live stream every week and we talk about building a podcasting business. And we, of course, have our own podcast and we have a podcast studio as well, too, which we rent out and help other people, create their own podcasts. And today, what we're going to be going is we're going to be doing our first ever, basically revenue like income statement or whatever it's called. I don't know what the exact word is. Income report maybe. And we're going to take a look at how much money we actually brought in October of 2025 and compare that to what we did with our projections. So I think we're just going to get going. It's pretty straightforward here. Is really just talking about what the income, doing a breakdown of the income versus expenses. So let me start by just getting right in here and sharing my screen. And if I'll just move myself over here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys remember this, but about a month or two ago, I can't remember exactly when, we did a projection of our cash flow here, right? And these were just based on how much money we're going to be getting for our websites and our web clients, studio rental packages, how many of those we would sell, or well, just the studio rentals and then the packages themselves. And I think if you go in, I think if we have our products here, we have basically our hourly rate for our studio bookings, $150 an hour. And then we have different packages that you can purchase as well right on the website. So that's it. And that's kind of our revenue stream here. And then it's like whatever else we make for, consulting, all that kind of stuff. So, and here's our projections. And basically what we have here is kind of how much money we're going to have at the end of the month. And here's our projections for October of 2025. 2,700 in website consulting, 415 studio rentals, no studio packagings, and no bespoke podcast services. And in actuality, here's what we actually did, which is why I was kind of pretty excited, because we're basically saying in studio rentals, we'll get maybe 3 rentals for the whole month. That's why it's 450. But we actually ended up making $1,275 in studio rentals for the month of October, which is awesome because that's like almost 3 times what we had actually envisioned. And I mean, obviously, if we can 3x what our plan is for the next months going forward, that'd be great. But I mean, I don't foresee us, constantly, 3xing what we want. But I think it's a really good start for the month of October when we wanted 450 and we ended up making 1275. And for the website consulting, if you guys remember, basically with one of my clients, I bill quarterly, but I just averaged it out over like the month, right? So I bill them quarterly at 7,500, which is 2,500 a month. So that's why, but I just wanted to keep it consistent with actual money that has actually hit the bank. So that's why that is lower than what the projected number is here. And again, I sold no studio packages. And for the bespoke podcast services, I actually made $1,500, where I basically was the guest host for Marketing News Canada podcast. And yeah, so that was a whole lot of fun. I get to do that. And so basically, if we look at what our revenue is, kind of putting this aside, we made about 2,775, kind of above, well, maybe 23, around 2,300 more than what we had initially thought in terms of, stuff for podcasting. So basically pretty happy with that. But one thing that's a little bit of a flag to note here is our expenses. So our expenses was pretty high. There was a few yearly subscriptions that actually came on the books in October. But I also made some larger purchases for the studio here because I'm doing a few little tweaks and updates to like the soundproofing and I guess a little bit of the decoration and the look and feel of the studio here. Now that I've had quite a few people kind of come through the studio, learning what works, what doesn't work. So there's some upgrades that need to be happen. So I had to purchase some kind of equipment for that. So that's why the expenses are a little bit high. And I actually got to buy a new phone as well too, which is probably the biggest expense here. So buying the phone, I just paid for it straight out the box for a phone. So it was like $1,000 plus tax. And, that's, it's a big price. So for a phone. So I don't know. It's a little bit more of a durable phone. I'm hoping it's going to last me like another 8 years. So yeah, I hate buying phones. Anyways, so that's where we are. And so the end of month balance, of course, is just under $5,000. I'd really like to get bumped back up to the $10,000 to the 5 digits as soon as possible, just to have a little bit of a cushion there, which would be really nice in the business account. But that's where we are. So super happy with how that turned out, and at least for that month. And we're going to keep moving forward in November, and hopefully we still see some good traction and pickup for the studio rentals. And we're just going to keep plugging away and see how that's going to go. And one thing I just wanted to mention here for tomorrow, a lot of you guys have been telling me about, I really need to work on my titles and thumbnails, which I 100% agree. And I haven't had a chance to go back to redo all the old ones, but I'm definitely going to do that sometime this week for sure. But I have a new episode coming out tomorrow, and I actually changed kind of the format of how I title the episodes. So this one here is how to grow your business with AI in 2025, no experience needed. So it's really kind of just, hey, this is kind of what you're going to learn in the show. So I kind of like, we're going to see how it's going to play out, but it's really kind of more thinking about the audience and what they're going to get out of the show versus, hey, here's just this person, learn about their life. I mean, it's still like that because we're still go through the podcast of talking about the person and showing a little bit of their background and history, right? To give, the listener some context, but it's really focused on what it is that they're going to get out of the podcast, right? And then the thumbnail here, AI is easier than you think. So it's like, if you don't know AI and you want to figure out how to use AI, this video is going to be a good stepping stone for you to be able to like, just listen to what he says, listen to what he's working with his clients and all that kind of stuff, and giving you some advice on how to get started and how to think about getting started with AI. So a really great conversation, and hopefully doing this for all the episodes is really going to help. I don't know, I guess just basically help in the search when people are searching and helping them find the podcast. And hopefully we can gain a little more traction in the podcast. So we can, really start to, work a little bit more towards our goal, of course, which is becoming the number 1 podcast in Canada. Right. So it's a lofty goal, but it's one that, that I'm looking forward to trying to get to. So, yeah, that is pretty much all I have here for today. So again, really just the income report for October 2025. And if you're going to be interested in the November report, Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. I think I have the comments working. Look at that. Got them fixed up. How's it going? How are you doing today? Oh man, did you see that World Series baseball game? What a game, eh? That was crazy. I had the baseball game on one TV and I had the hockey game on the other TV. Oh, geez. Oh, those poor Jays. Yeah, I know. It was the whole time, even game 6, I'm just like, you're leaving guys stranded. They're like 90 feet from home. Just send them home. Like, you got no outs. What are you doing? Oh, it was brutal. You almost think like, how do you not score? Like, you have to like actively try to not get a run in. Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy. So sorry, what was I saying? Oh yeah, if you're going to be interested in seeing the November income reports, that's going to happen basically the first Monday of every month. That's what we're going to do these income reports. So yeah, that's all I have. Kevin, I've already gone through kind of what I wanted to say in terms of the cash flow and the projections. Before I sign off, anything you want to say? But thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you as always. I'll catch the replay. Sounds good, man. All right, so I will leave it here for this evening. Thank you so much, Kevin, and thank you everyone who's watching this into the future. Hope everything is going well for you. And of course, as always, be back here again on Monday for a brand new live stream. All right, until then, take it easy. Have a great rest of your week. And have a great night too. We'll see you next time.